Jet Set Radio! All right, 3, 2, 1. Hello, guys. This is PJ. This is Statics Radio episode 2. If you can't hear, maybe you can't tell, my voice is a little bit gone. I've been sick since the airing of last week's episode, but we promised you that there'll be an episode every Thursday, so that's what we're going to do. This is episode 2, and even though that my voice sounds a little messed up, we are still recording this episode. Today, I am joined with Alejandro.
Hello, I'm the father of dragons, breaker of chains, and survivor of tornadoes.
and
Zach.
Hi, I'm the guy he just stole all my titles from.
and if you didn't hear a second ago, Zach and I live in the middle of Oklahoma, and we just went through some terrible storms. Some tornadoes touched down here in Tulsa a couple days ago, and I'm alive, but it kind of looks like the apocalypse a little bit somewhere around here. And Zach seems all right. Am I wrong?
I'm dead. I died.
All right, well, that's sad. Well, I'm glad that you could join us through your Ouija board on the other side. Anyways, is there anything of mention that happened this week or anything that we need to talk about?
I think someone has a birthday this week.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, PJ.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, by the time that this goes live, this will actually be my birthday. So as I said, every Thursday, we will release a new episode. This Thursday is my birthday. How old I am is to be kept secret. I'll let you guys decide on how old I am in the comments below. But speaking of birthdays, I think there was another birthday this week, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah. 10-year birthday of Minecraft.
Hell yeah, let's go. 10 years, babies. Let's go. Yeah, I don't think I've played the game for a total of 10 years now, but I definitely remember starting early 2010, so almost 10 years. I've probably played this game for about 9 years now.
And I still haven't played it, but I'm about to rectify that this week.
You are about to buy the game. So
oh, yeah. Switch version. We can finally play together.
It's good to me. Zach, do you have an availability to play the game, right, with us?
Yeah, you can play with PC, right?
Yeah, you do the not the Java version, but if you buy the Java version, you can get the Windows version for free. And if you get the Windows version downloaded for PC, then you should be able to play with Switch as well. So
right,
that's what I'll
good.
be doing. So
baby.
Yeah. Jump in.
Yeah, this will be a lot of fun. Alejandro, you're going to finally play Minecraft for your first time 10 years freaking later. Yep. Oh, my God. There is so much in the game. Speaking of that, I think, Zach, what? I think 1.14 just released or something like that recently. I don't remember.
Wait, it only has a 1.4?
No, it's like 1.14, 1.14. And I think not pandas, but pandas are recently, which just blows my mind that pandas are in Minecraft, man. It's like that was something that I had to mod into the game when I first started playing the game. That's nuts. 10 years of Minecraft.
Oh, man.
Wow. And moving on, I think there's one more thing I want to mention before I'm going to pass the baton over to Zach. There is a challenge that Alejandro challenged us last week. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. I've been eagerly anticipating this.
So take it away.
So last week, last week, I proposed them whenever they went to watch Detective Pikachu, which is a pretty good movie.
Yep.
I wanted them to count the amount of Pokemons represented there. One was going to do from the Kanto era of Pokemon, and the other one, and that was you, PJ.
Yep.
And the other one was going to do Johto, if I remember correctly. So now a week removed from that, I want to hear about this. Take it away.
I counted 44, I believe. I sent you the number. I think it was 43, and then I went and watched it a second time. Yeah, that's right. The movie's been out for 7 days, and I saw it more than one time.
Don't
I
feel
think
bad. I watched Avengers 4 times.
Surprised with that one.
So yeah, I counted 44. And that doesn't include just pictures on the side of the wall or stuff like that. That's like actual in movie Pokemon, which is actually surprising to me because I realized that the majority of Pokemon were actually from Kanto or from the original generation. There was a few from later generations that I never expected to be in the movie, but I think that was pretty cool. I'm more interested to hear about Johto because I didn't give any attention to how many Johto there were. So
How many were there, Zach?
There are actually only 6 Johto Pokemon.
oh my god.
It goes from 44 to 6.
No Johto love. Absolutely no Johto love.
To
my
be
God.
fair,
They
like
had Totodile, didn't they?
Yeah, we had Totodile, which
That was
like
beautiful. That was so cute. I saw that and I was just like, oh yeah, that's my favorite.
yeah.
that was the only model I think that didn't get reused throughout the movie.
Really?
Yeah, that and Togepi. Togepi only appeared in the
In like very
battle
split
stage.
second. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, man, someone's gonna miss Togepi. Yeah. But yeah, you weren't kidding though. I think the only complaint I had with the movie, which you gotta keep in mind with 1,000 some how many Pokemon are there, Zach? That's like 1,000 something.
1,000 now.
2000.
800 something.
Is it dude, I swear it was over 1,000 by now. Really? It's only 800 something? All right, well,
Yeah.
again,
Not
it's a
every
big
generation brings 100.
That's right. Well, you're right. You know, there's a lot of Pokemon, and you know they can't make every Pokemon into the movie, and so there's a lot of reused models here and there. Like for some reason, everybody has an Emolga, which I think Zach recognized that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Emolga's-
Emolga's freaking everywhere. I was like, why? It's not even the best like Pikachu ripoff. Yeah, whatever.
I'm
Anyways,
surprised there wasn't a Mimikyu.
yeah, I was genuinely surprised there wasn't a lot of them. But last mention on Detective Pikachu, Alejandro and Zach, Detective Pikachu 2 has been approved and is in the works. It is coming, and I am super excited to see what other Pokemon we may see models from. And I would like to talk about that at some point. Not this episode, but maybe next episode we can talk about what kind of Pokemon we want to see in Detective Pikachu 2. And also on top of that, sorry, as you can hear, I am sick. There is another potential movie coming from Nintendo, Pokemon related, and that is Pokemon Red and Blue. So they want to make a live action Pokemon Red and Blue movie. So I'm kind of excited to see.
Which is basically going to be the live action version of the cartoon because that was basically red and blue.
Except for Ash sucks.
Yeah, Ash is terrible, man. Ash is legitimately the worst trainer in all of human history or Pokemon history.
that likes to die a lot. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but it's also the fact is that he like releases his Pokemon. He also like, oh my, don't even get me started on season 1, Zach.
I'm
he's
salty
like,
that he let go Charizard. I remember that episode really well.
no. Here's the dumbest thing. All right, you remember how he catches Caterpie?
Mm-hmm.
Zach, you remember this?
I don't remember how he catches it.
No, but you remember he catches Caterpie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does he do the second he catches Caterpie? What does he do?
I don't know. Uses it against a bird Pokemon?
Yes. Yes. The second he catches it, he feeds it to a Pidgey. What a freaking idiot. He's like, go, Caterpie, fight this Pidgey. I'm like, you realize that Pidgey's literally going to eat your Pokemon. What an idiot. Oh, my God.
He never learns type advantage, does he?
No, he never does. Absolutely not. I think there's only one time, and it was actually, like, for his benefit and a stupid freaking reason, too.
Also, didn't he let it go with a bunch of Butterfree? I think that's how it was called.
Yeah.
Butterfree. Like he said,
He did. So I'm gonna pass the baton over to Zach as host because my throat feels like it is about to bleed.
So just a quick addendum to the Detective Pikachu thing before we move on. How can they do a sequel? Not to go spoiler, but like the main thing that drove the game, kind of like the main plot, it's kind of resolved in the first movie, isn't it?
Do you know how it ends, Alejandro?
Yeah, I want to see it.
Okay. So
wait, you saw Detective Pikachu?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, because I read about the game, how like the main story, still like kind of like the main thread of what happened to the kid's father. That's Oh well, yeah, we're gonna go to spoiler. If you want to skip 10 seconds, like
No, skip 30 seconds from now if you don't want to hear spoilers. All right, go.
all right, go. So like for example, that the fact that Detective Pikachu is his father, like his father got like put in there by Mewtwo, and he gets out, and it's ends up being Ryan Reynolds, which awesome.
I really didn't want.
Yeah, it's like which to me it's kind of dumb because it's like you didn't recognize your father's voice the entire time, but that's like besides the point. But I'm like, how can you do Detective Pikachu too?
5 seconds.
Are you gonna put the character again inside? We'll
2
see what it
seconds.
is. Yeah.
All right, that's it. All right, welcome back, everybody who skipped for spoilers. Yeah, Detective Pikachu is gonna be weird. My guess. Oh my voice, man! I lost my voice, and I'm gonna have squeaks, and it's gonna sound awful all day today. I am so sorry, guys. Seriously, please help me not speak nearly as much.
We'll try.
last thing for Detective Pikachu 2, I kind of have an idea what's gonna be. Is that there's gonna have to be something where they're gonna have to communicate to Pokemon, and so person A will have to be put into person B to be able to talk to Pokemon, and so it's going to be like a redo of the first movie. So yeah, okay, oh my lord, spoilers part 2. Skip 15 seconds if you don't want more Detective Pikachu spoilers. Sorry about this, boys. All right, skip starting right now. Okay, so Ryan Reynolds is gonna have to go back into Pikachu for them to be able to talk to Pokemon so they can communicate to Pokemon and solve this mystery pretty much. That's pretty much my guess, so that we can actually get a Detective Pikachu again. All right, welcome back, guys. That was literally 15 seconds on the dot. I'm so proud of myself. Anyways, welcome back, guys. No more spoilers. We are done with Detective Pikachu. I think Zach has something to talk about next, or at least something to mention.
Yep. All right. One more thing about Detective Pikachu.
Oh my god.
All right.
So of all the Gen 2 Pokemon, the only Pokemon that didn't get featured that I really wanted to see was Phanpy. Speaking of things that had a disappointing lack of elephants, Game of Thrones season finale.
Oh yeah.
Lack of
Where's
elephants.
Cersei? Never got her elephants.
What a flawless transition. Good job, Zach.
Thank you.
Lack of elephants.
You had it in you.
So you guys like the finale?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I wrote a review for our site for the finale, and I feel like I'm in that minority that really liked where it ended, even though I didn't like how it got there.
Yeah, same.
But it's like I was because official. I thought the penultimate episode was incredibly beautiful and incredibly trash at the same time. It was like because it just felt like the turn. Well, if you haven't seen Game of Thrones right now, sorry, it's like spoilers galore.
This is a really long spoiler segment.
Yes, exactly. So
yeah, let's do this. If you don't want any spoilers for any current media at the time, please skip ahead 5 minutes from now. We're going to get all of our spoilers out of the way and then come back in 5 minutes, and then we will be back onto normal stories. Okay? Thank you.
All right. So we can talk now. So Daenerys Targaryen's turn for the Mad Queen. If you see the entire series, which you actually did, PJ,
yeah,
it's been seeded throughout that she's kind of crazy. But the thing that's always
sorry.
Yes, it's sort of. It's like it's there if you want to look at it. Like
you're talking to someone who watched the entire series in pretty much one sitting, and so if anyone's gonna recognize that, it's me, and I didn't recognize shit. Sorry,
right.
cursing.
I actually did.
We also thought that Peter Baelish was going to be the big bad. So
well, yes, I did. I thought that honestly, Peter Baelish, Littlefinger, would be the big bad because he just seemed like a good from the behind the shadows bad guy. But
he was, and then he got played like a fiddle.
Yeah, which kind of made me sad.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? Never mind. The Night King's gonna be the big bad.
Oh no, he got stabbed.
He got killed by a little girl. Womp womp.
He got killed by no one.
Yep. Nobody killed him.
And so yeah, Danny. If you want to look very deep into it, just the fact that she would always be burning her enemies and all this stuff and talk about conquering and all that, that's always been part of her character. We just always saw her from a perspective of a savior. So now her making kind of that turn, it's something that should have been like incredibly powerful and tragic, but because these last 2 seasons were so freaking rushed. That turn where she's like, oh, I'm hearing bells. Now I'm going to burn everyone, even though I wanted to break the wheel and save everyone. That
That's
just
one
felt
way
like,
to break the wheel, kill everything.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, it felt like something was missing, and it just felt like something that was unearned, even if technically it wasn't. And I say the finale kind of made good on that a little bit when she's doing her big speech to the Dothraki and the Unsullied. And how she's like basically giving the same speech she would give at
And being
Astapor
killed
and
by
Marine.
John.
Yeah, and exactly getting the knife to the heart, just like John got a knife to the heart by the Night's Watch, which is kind of nice symmetry. By the way, the visuals.
Except
to
someone
that
came
finale,
back and someone else didn't. But
yeah. By the way, some of the visuals of that finale, like that shot of her leaving Drogon and Drogon like splitting her wings behind her, that was so cool.
yeah, that was really cool.
And even that like scene where John's like walking towards the throne and Drogon was hiding in the snow / ash and comes up there. By the way, have you seen this video of someone like overlapping the Dark Souls interface as John is kind of walking, and then Drogon appears and there's like his boss fight energy pops up, and then the crazy music starts? You have to see that video.
Yeah, no,
It's
it looks
so
like
funny.
Dark Souls, man.
It's so
Like,
funny.
all of Game of Thrones looks like Dark Souls to me.
Yep.
To be honest with you.
I like Dark Souls, so I thought that was a plus. So and then like the big time jump where like we see where everyone where everyone basically ends up. I know some people are furious that Bran's the king. What do you guys think?
I guess I don't care who the king is.
Yeah, I don't really care who the king is, to be honest with you. I never did from the beginning.
I kind of figured John would be back in the true north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say though that
It ended where it began, though, if you didn't notice.
oh yeah, the exact same shot like that started the series. That's
Yeah.
how they ended it. It's like nice symmetry to turn it back around. But
Yeah, I would say that's a beautiful thing, but here's
Mhm.
the thing is that so many series and movies have done that already that I'm just kind of like, okay, try something different, please.
exactly.
But,
Yeah, I can see how that it became a little too TV instead of being like this subversion that Game of Thrones was.
Yeah.
I'll say that Bran becoming the king is the kind of thing that Game of Thrones would do. What is the thing you least expect? Like, and I feel like it's kind of undercut by the fact Bran did nothing this season.
did you
Like,
did you see the I think you sent me this meme, Alejandro.
Yeah.
That Jaime Lannister's King Killer, King Slayer like game was so strong that he tried to kill the King 8 seasons previously.
Oh yeah, the foresight was epic. But I'd still say that I like how bold that was, because it was like it's not what you expect. And for any people expecting that Game of Thrones is going to lead a predictable ending, I thought it was nicely subversive, and I pretty much was like, yep, it's not going to be to everyone's liking, but so wasn't Ned's death and the Red Wedding, when everyone thought they were going to be the heroes and they got killed.
Those were still highly rated episodes, though.
Oh yeah, exactly. But I feel like the finale being negative received has more to do with how negatively received this season has been.
I will give a heads up. We are coming down to the end of the spoilers thing in about 30 seconds.
All right.
So Zach, can you please mention what your opinion was, because you said that you didn't like it. So I would like to hear your opinion real fast.
Penultimate episode was my favorite episode of the entire series.
What
Finale,
was?
the penultimate, second to last.
The
Really?
bells.
Yeah.
The Bells is your favorite episode?
Yep.
And
And
Interesting.
the finale, I hate because there was no John versus Grey Worm.
Oh yeah. Well, we all honestly, I wanted to see that. Yeah, you're right. Anyways, welcome back, guys. Who also are skipping spoilers. If this is airing live, I assume that you guys were smart enough to pause for 5 minutes and then go back to live, and so you didn't have to hear 5 minutes of this.
Mhm.
But if you heard this when it was live, I'm apologize. You heard all of this, and you're a big, huge Game of Thrones fan who isn't caught up with the show. So, to be honest with you, if you're a huge Game of Thrones fan, you're probably caught up and you've probably already seen it.
Exactly. The
So,
most watched finale ever for HBO. So a lot of people
from
watched
HBO.
it.
Oh, last thing I want to mention about it. Very last thing. And it has nothing to do with Game of Thrones. Well, it has everything to do with Game of Thrones. It is Game of Thrones, but it's not. All right. Anyways, so who here watched the finale on the HBO Now or HBO Go, whatever it is?
I watched it on Amazon, the HBO section of Amazon.
Same.
Really? Okay. So I don't know if I did this to you guys, but I was watching it on the. Is it HBO Go? What is the app called?
HBO Go.
And actually, it depends because HBO Go is if you have a cable subscription.
Okay, I honestly don't really care.
Okay.
It's but whatever the subscription thing is called. Is
HBO
that
Now.
like HBO Now? Thank you.
Yeah.
So the all right, so the first 5 minutes of the show is trailers for shows that are coming up on HBO Now, and they're saying we're not done yet. Please, like, they're pretty much begging you to not kill their subscription after this series finale was done. And then after the show was done, was another
More
5
trailers.
minutes.
Yeah,
There's more
more
trailers
trailers.
and more stuff to come. And it's them holding on to dear life. They're like, please, we know this is all you're here for, but please don't leave. And then everybody quit their subscription,
Yep.
including my girlfriend and her father and myself. So
I still have it because I want to watch Watchmen later this year. So, and Chernobyl. That series is really good. I'll just throw that out there.
yeah,
It's
all
like
right.
a mini series that they're sharing. So
We gotta move on. Next thing we're gonna talk about today. Oh man, what do we want to mention, Zach? We have a lot of things we can go through. What do you want to hit next?
Let's go to college stories.
Okay, well I have 10 minutes to do so. So let's do this. So without naming its name, the name that must not be named, all three of us are from the same school. Is that incorrect?
That's
yep, that is correct.
All right. So we are all from the same college, and we should have a few stories. Apparently not. Maybe so. I mean, some of mine are very depressing, so I'm not going to tell those unless we want to have a very sad, depressed boy hour.
I can depress this episode real quick.
Yeah, let's just depress this episode. Friends died. Wow. Yeah, that was actually true, and it's sad. Anyways, oh, ouch. I shouldn't have mentioned that. Anyways.
Wait, I forgot about that. The thing that happened in your floor, was it 2017?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zach and I both lived on that same floor. We both knew the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh wait, so, Zach, your RA was Carlin?
Yeah.
Yeah, we lived on the same floor. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was always there. It was so funny that I never knew that you were there because I was always visiting PJ literally every night with Josh.
Yep. Oh man, Josh. Shout out to Josh Martin. I know he listens to this because he listened to the first episode. So shout out to you, man. You're a solid guy. We wish you were back here in Tulsa. Anyways, skipping all over that stuff. I think there's one memory that all three of us have of going to the college in Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you guys know where I'm getting at. Do you want to mention it, Alejandro?
I think I know, but I'll let you say it because
No. Just go for it. One memory that we all have that it's something located in Tulsa and it's on this list sitting in front of you.
Oh yes. Oh man, I love that Whataburger run at night.
There you go. So Whataburger, love it or hate it, is definitely something that is special to our college career and our college life. Am I incorrect, Zach? Am I correct?
Oh, you're totally correct about that.
Yeah,
I once walked like entire hour.
Wait, you're joking me.
No, I walked straight to Whataburger and back at like 3 a.m, I think.
What? Wait, really?
Yeah, I wanted Whataburger. I wanted food, and no one with the car was around or awake, so I just walked.
You walked to Whataburger.
Yep.
Where's the most which Whataburger did you walk to?
Tulsa Hills.
Oh my God.
Oh
Yeah.
crap. That's
Dude,
a long walk.
That's a long walk. Dude, did like a cop come by and be like, dude, what the hell are you doing out here? Like,
I didn't see anyone out there at all.
wow. That's insane, man. Well,
Shout out to you.
Yeah.
That's the utmost right there.
Yeah, you wanted Whataburger more than us, apparently. So I'll let you have the Whataburger trophy, but here I am wanting to complain about it a little bit.
What an achievement.
Achievement unlocked, or trophy unlocked.
So Whataburger here in Tulsa is like the In-N-Out for Oklahoma, pretty much, in Texas. Have any of you guys been to In-N-Out?
I have not.
So I had a former RA bring me In-N-Out all the way from Dallas to Tulsa. Just imagine, yes. That's gross, I know. But that's the only time
It's
that
all
I've
right.
had it.
But was it okay?
I thought it was fine, but I know that it would be better if I ate it fresh.
Live, yeah. I've been to Dallas many times. I've been to San Diego a few times. Like I've had In-N-Out before. Personally, In-N-Out is better than Whataburger, but
Mhm.
Whataburger is special because it's open 24 hours, 365. That mother fricker never closes, man. It is always open.
Honey
Doesn't
butter
ma-
chicken biscuit.
Yeah, honey butter chicken and biscuit, boys. That's the stuff that's good, man. And that patty melt, sometimes I get buffalo sauce on that. Oh God, it's good.
Ah, man, I'm getting hungry.
No, it's so good. What do you normally get, Zach?
Really, I'm pretty basic, so I get the bacon burger or
Hey, that's pretty
the
good.
sweet and sour bacon burger.
Ooh, sweet and sour.
Man, we must be brothers because that's exactly what I get.
That's what I get too. Hey, no, seriously, I get the bacon burger every time, so that's pretty high. So here's the thing. So Zach, you've been to Whataburger. Like you didn't just go through the drive-through. You've been to Whataburger. Alejandro, have you been to Whataburger instead of the drive-through?
Exactly. I've been inside Whataburger.
Okay, I'm gonna give you my.
We've been there. We've been there. Both of us.
Oh yeah. I remember. I am going to rant for a very, very short period of time. It's just something that I've noticed. It may just be my bad luck. I want you to tell me if that's the case or not. All right. After I'm done. So, Whataburger, I don't know if it's just that they hire people who aren't necessarily the most intelligent, or if they overwork their staff because they're open 24 hours, or they don't teach their staff. I don't know what it is.
I think it's all of the above.
Maybe all of the above. But legitimately every time, drive through or going inside, no matter what Whataburger it is, it seems like somebody at the front counter when I'm ordering doesn't understand what the hell I'm saying.
Yes.
and it blows my mind because I'm not a picky eater. And so the only thing I want is I want the burger without the mustard. And so I'll go up there and I'll tell them can I get the burger without mustard?
And they put your mustard.
No. But listen, they'll be like, "Oh, so you want it dry?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I love mine dry." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So next time I come, "Hey, can I get a bacon cheeseburger dry?" They're like, "Dry?" It's same person, and I'm like, "Yeah, dry." And they're like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Means no mustard. You just told me last week what dry meant." And then he was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." I'm like, "Okay." And guess what? It comes with mustard on it. And I'm like, "All right, thanks." Next Whataburger I go to. Oh man, this is a story within itself. So the one at Tulsa Hills, Zach, the one that you went to, I went there with my friend Tim one time and my ex-girlfriend. And so I went there and I asked for some buffalo sauce, which I know they had because I got buffalo sauce from them literally a week before. The person at the counter was like, "Here, hold up, I gotta go talk to my manager." I'm like, "What the heck?" The manager comes out and they're like, "Hey, sorry, sir, we don't have buffalo sauce." I'm like, "Oh, okay, you guys just out?" They're like, "No, we've never had buffalo sauce ever." And I was like, that's so, excuse my French, so full of shit. I was like, "Okay, fine." And then they had 3 versions of shakes. They had the chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. I was like, "Hey, could you possibly mix the 3 just because I was feeling adventurous?" And they're like, "Sorry, sir, we can't mix any shakes." I'm like, "All right, that's fine, whatever." I was getting frustrated. So I just got a chocolate shake and I got a burger with mustard on it when I asked for no mustard. And then, it's just a pain in the butt. And so then I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to drive to Glenpool, which is only 5 minutes from there. And it's a way better Whataburger than the one that we're used to. So I went to that one and I was like, "Hey, can I get a side of buffalo sauce?" They're like, "Yeah, absolutely." They get me a side of buffalo sauce. I'm like, "Hey, can I mix all the shakes?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we also have a coffee shake. Do you want that mixed in too?" I'm like, "Hell yeah." So they mixed all of my shakes and they give me my side of buffalo sauce. And I thought it was awesome. And yes, I got it. But here's the thing. It's a Whataburger. No matter how nice they are, they mess up something. So here's the moral of the story. I got a honey butter chicken biscuit. And for some reason, they made it on a jalapeno biscuit. So can you explain to me how someone accidentally puts a green biscuit with a honey butter chicken biscuit, and then they even put it in the jalapeno biscuit wrapper. So when I looked at it, I was like, "That's not what I ordered." And I opened it up, and it's a honey butter chicken biscuit with jalapeno biscuit. And I'm like, I just wanted a normal honey butter chicken biscuit. And they're like, sorry, sir, like we're out of normal biscuits. I'm like, then why did you make this? I was like, this isn't what I ordered. And I was like, it was so nasty. I threw it away. But then right afterwards, I drove back to the other Whataburger with buffalo sauce in hand. Yeah, I know I'm a little bit of a butt, but I ordered some fries and ate buffalo sauce from a Whataburger container right out in front of them. So they knew that they had buffalo sauce. So yeah, that was like all 4 a.m. Welcome to Whataburger stories, man. Whataburger's nuts. I mean, am I wrong though? It feels like they just have no idea what you're talking about sometimes. Like,
Yep.
their employee, I don't know how, man. Like, you can order a normal plain burger. Actually, you could just order a number 2 with everything on it, nothing different, and they're still gonna mess it up somehow. And yet this restaurant messes up everything, but somehow it's still super special to us. So
here's the part where I mentioned that I've never had my order messed up at Whataburger.
I am genuinely surprised. Really? Like, do you get everything on it or what? Like,
I get no pickles on it. That's it.
That's the one thing that everyone always gets right when I tell them to take them out. Because if not, I'm gonna be like that SpongeBob guy. Remember? No pickles.
no pickles.
But yeah, man, I miss Whataburger. This is like, yes, they mess up, but the experience of just going there, just how many times we went there to chat about life.
Yeah,
man, Whataburger was the life, especially there at college. How many like
cheap food, open 24 hours, convenient always, and it was just a fun place to go and chill and hang out and talk. So yeah, absolutely,
exactly. It beat having to go to PF Chang's.
Oh God, yeah, where I work.
Speaking of,
yeah,
so
I wanted to mention one more thing. Oh my God, my voice, man, hold up.
Echo.
Hello. Oh, sorry, my mic didn't come back on. I had to exit some phlegm in my throat. I have one. I want to mention my crazy stories about, or at least within a minute or two. I want to talk about how crazy my life with ORU. Oh, frick. The name that must not be named. School leadership. My like crazy like scenarios that have happened, like just and how much I got screwed over from the leadership program. And then I'll lead that into some PF Chang stories, which are quite funny. But before we do, we're going to take a quick break. So everybody who is here, we are going to go grab some coffee or something, and we'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back for you in like, I don't know, 50 seconds. So, all right. Anything you want to say before we leave?
I'm hungry.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'm definitely going to get some Whataburger after this. I'll tell you that. All right. We will catch you guys here in a second. All right, guys, welcome back. I hope you guys had a great break. We did. None of us got to go get Whataburger, sadly, but we will after this. Oh, except for Alejandro.
Sad panda.
Sad panda. I forgot, Alejandro, you live in El Salvador. Oof. Well, Zach, are you near a Whataburger where you live?
No, the closest one's an hour away.
Oh boy, I'm gonna get Whataburger after this. I'll send you both pictures.
Thanks. Bud.
You're welcome.
Rub it in, but that's where we'll go when I go visit.
All right. Well, I have been waiting for you guys to come to Tulsa, or at least be in the general vicinity of me, because A, we can make content faster, and B, we can do this live, which would be really cool. Also, mentioning that just real fast on the very, very, very fast note, Zach is not in Tulsa for a while. So what that means is that we are not going to be having new episodes of Behind the X for a little bit. So that'll be taking a little bit of a hiatus. Thank you. Seriously, thank you, everybody who's seen it. And if you don't know how that's supposed to work, yes, it is supposed to be amateur on purpose. Yes, it is supposed to have amateur like recording and audio recording on purpose. There is a plan long-term for this series, trust me, and it is episodic. So the people who've watched the interview and hasn't watched what is StatX Media, is that the name of the first episode?
Yeah, I think it is Behind the Scene of What is StatX.
Well, Zach,
What is StatX Media?
Yeah, so if you haven't seen that episode, which is the first one, go watch it. I also have a actual, what was it called? Playlist set in order of on the channel if you want to watch those in order. It's supposed to retell the company pretty much, and its actual financial status is how well the production quality is, and so it's kind of funny actually. So it starts off small, terrible production quality in a terrible, like, small apartment as the office, and grows. And if once the company grows, and once we move, the like video, like location will move, and the production quality will go up. And that's pretty much the plan of the entire series. And so, everyone who's seen it, thank you for watching it. Sorry, stay tuned. There'll be more stuff coming soon, or coming later, not necessarily within the next few months, but soon. We'll keep you updated. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. I do want to mention one specific college story, and that is about my journey to become an RA, and I will start at the beginning. So, as a wee little freshman, I walk onto the campus, and I meet everyone, and I'm super excited to, become a leader, because I'm studying leadership in college, and I was like, I'm really excited to actually try my iron and test my iron and as leadership, because honestly, my entire life, people were always looking down on me, and they thought I was weird, which I am. And so they were right to do so. Anyways, I was like, well, I finally have a chance to possibly make something out of myself. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to start signing up for leadership. And my first semester as a freshman, I get offered a leadership position in the chaplain program. Our college that we went to has 3 separate leaderships. They have an APA, which is an academic peer advisor, a chaplaincy program, which is for chaplains, and an RA. And if you've been to college or know anything about college, you know what an RA is. And then there's head versions of each one. And then there's advisors for each one as well, for the male side and the female side.
And then there's people up at the top of those advisors, which are like the coordinators.
Which, none of us can be. But anyways, so starting off freshman year, I'll make this really fast. Freshman year, first semester, I get an offer to become a chaplain. I was like, okay, cool. And so I signed up for it, went through my interviews and such like that. And long story short, I was doing some devos as chaplains do, and I was a chaplain for 2 months. And without naming a name, there was somebody in the chaplain program that I wasn't a huge fan of. One uno momento while I blow my nose. And I'm back. All right. Yes. There's someone in the chaplain program I wasn't a huge fan of that was actually in charge of me. And I left because I didn't like how the chaplain program was being ran at the current time. But is that the end of my chaplain reign? No, it was not. You'll hear about that here in a second. And so, but then I met this guy named Mr. B, who is an incredibly nice guy who actually cared for us as students and asked if I'd be an APA. For anybody who went to our school will know that the APA program was a complete joke. And I thought that
super was.
Yeah, so
it really was.
So it was a very quick way for anybody in ORU who wanted a leadership position to have a leadership position without the actual position. So
it was a pity position, to put it frank.
Ouch. Yeah, thanks. Anyways, so I ended up becoming an APA, and
that was interesting. I did some things for the program, and I helped out some people on my floor. Zach lived on my floor the year that I was in APA. I again had never did anything with Zach that year. We didn't really do anything until later in college. And Zach never really came to any of my things I did with an APA. So thanks, Zach. Anyways,
I'm a nerd.
yeah. So ouch. So anyways. I did host some things as an APA. I allowed people to come in my room, play some video games in their off time. I helped study. I read papers for people. And also, weird story. So there's traditional floors, which are people that are 25 and under, or 24 and under, or is it 23? Is it 23, Zach?
23 and up. 23
No. Traditional floors are 23 and under, and then non-traditional floors are 23 and up. But Zach and I lived on a non-traditional traditional floor, right? Which means that it was literally half freshmen and half 50-year-olds.
Yes.
And so
that's the best way to put it. Like, all the grandpas were on one side and all the kids were on the other side.
Yep. And so that was a great time to be in leadership. And so I was literally reading people's like freshman papers to people's dissertations. Like no in between. And
so just to kind of add that, like, yes, people would say that the APA program is a joke unless people took it seriously, and PJ would actually take it seriously in a way that I never saw an APA do. And I was
except for Josh Holsing, which is like literally the best living APA in all of existence.
Oh yes. He was like the best one to go chill and play Sonic Adventure 2.
But no, like literally he took his job extremely seriously. I never saw an APA better than him. Shout out to Josh Holsing. I doubt you listen, but if anyone knows who he is, let him know that he's the best APA to ever exist. And honestly, the only reason why this next step in the story ever happened is because he took himself out of the consideration. So anyway, without, kissing ass anymore. So yeah, I mean, as Alejandro said, I was one of the only people that actually took the job seriously, to pat myself on my own back. And I was told to show up to this award ceremony. And so I did. And I ended up getting APA of the year that year. And that was pretty cool. And then the next thing I hear is that, hey, you should show up to a interview tomorrow. And I was like, what for? They're like, we want you to be the head APA for the guys. And I was like,
I like where this is going.
And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So I went up and showed up, and they were like, hey, so let's hold this interview. They asked what would make you a good head APA. And I was just like, honestly, I didn't want the job. And I was like, all right, well, let's put it this way. Have you ever been into an interview, Alejandro or Zach, where you didn't necessarily gloat the entire time, and you're just kind of like, honestly, like, maybe you haven't, but I know it's pretty stupid. But I went into the interview and I was like, I don't know if I necessarily deserve this. I don't know if I could even do this, but it turns out that Hunter, who is the male coordinator at the time, and then there's Mr. B, were like, well, we honestly think that you're going to be like one of the best head APAs we've ever had. And and then I was like, okay, well, if you want me to be a head APA, let me put it this way. I don't like the system of the APA program. I thought it was dumb, as we mentioned earlier, and I thought that it didn't necessarily like lead to a lot of good things, and didn't have a lot of bare bones. And like it didn't have bones within it. It was literally just this mesh of like, it had no structure. It was bad. Anyways, so I go in there and I'm like, if you want me to be a head APA, my APAs that are underneath me are going to take their job seriously. I'm going to give them things to do, and I would like you to give me approval to do so, and also give me approval to pretty much be able to, quote unquote,
let them bend the knee.
Well, quote unquote, like, let them go if they're not doing their job. And he agreed. He said, if they're not doing their job as an APA and you don't think they're up to standard, send them in and we'll talk to them. And if they don't continue doing better, we'll let them go. It's like, cool. So I went to a meeting 2 weeks later for all leadership, and they announced, or not all leadership, it was APA stuff, all APAs, and they were announcing who's going to be the new head APAs. And they announced that I got the job. And I was like, cool, awesome. So I went up there, and then I went to a meeting with all head leadership. And so I got to meet the head RA and the head chaplain, and we all get to talk with one another. This is where it gets really bad. And so we all got to talk to one another, and we're talking about our plans for next year and how we're all really excited. And the head RA at the time was really excited to, which I still know him very frankly, Troy, was really excited to see me as a head APA because he knew I would actually take it very seriously because I've known him since my freshman year.
Troy Conley, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, he knew I was
probably one of the tallest men I've ever met.
absolutely. He's like 7 foot tall. Anyways, yeah, he's a freaking giant. So to kind of wrap up this sophomore to junior year scene, I was like super excited. I got to know these guys. I picked out my room number. I got a lower lot pass, which means that my car could be parked right next to the dormitory.
Which, by the way, just as an interjection, that lower lot pass was the equivalent of the golden ticket from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, absolutely. If you have a lower lot pass, you are an important person on campus. And it's like, oh man, I was so stoked. I was like, oh my Lord, this position that meant absolutely nothing is going to turn out to be like my golden ticket to like actual leadership. Yeah. What a lot of people didn't know is that I was eyeing Hunter's job, the APA coordinator. Because I was wanting to change the program, because I felt like I could either be an RA or I could change the program for the better and be known for it. So that sounds good to me.
And then they found out your intentions and they shut down the whole program.
Wow, spoilers. Well, I was going to lead into that because I was going to be one of the punchlines. Thanks for ruining it. Anyways, yeah. So after I got my lower lot pass, I was super excited. I started using it for 2 days, and then I get a call for an all APA meeting. I was like, okay. And I show up, and guess what they announced? Alejandro said it. You want to say it, Zach?
They shut down your program.
Yeah, they closed the APA program, and it no longer existed. And I was like, okay, so what about the head leadership? You know, like, you actually recognize this as leaders. Is there anywhere we can go? Nope. They actually chose all their leaders 2 weeks beforehand. There was no way we could actually apply for any leadership positions, and they didn't tell us in time to apply for different leadership. And we were like, well, did you guys know you were closing it 2 weeks ago? They said yes.
Nothing like a mass layoff with that anticipation.
Straight up EA'd us, man. Anyways.
Yep, you got EA'd or Activision.
Oh my Lord. Anyways, so yeah, imagine working almost your whole college career for a position and then having it like shut down in front of you. But here, man, it doesn't end there. And so it ends. And I'm chilling around. I'm not really doing much. And then I get brought back to the chaplain program for a very short period of time, another 3 months. And then at the same time, it was just for like the latter half of the semester. So I finished it up. And then I had a semester and a half-ish left, maybe a whole year left. No, I had a semester left in college. And I get told by Mr. Dean Guajardo himself that I should apply for the RA position. And so I did. Who's, by the way, Alejandro should know, was the person who used to be in charge of the RA program. And he left the RA program, but he mentioned to everybody to come and like kind of tap me on the shoulder and be like, hey, you should apply for this position. And so I lost my RA on my floor, and they were like, we need someone to fill this spot. And I was like, oh my Lord, I'll do it. And so I went and applied, and I don't know if I mentioned this to you or not, Alejandro. I had my official RA like meetings, and I had my interviews. I went through all the RA interviews. Yes, I know the horrors. Anyways,
you guys look. If you want to know what torture is, you have to go through that kind of RA interviews.
Oh my Lord!
My God, it was like if you wanted to feel like what a 24 like interrogation was like instead of an interview. That's what those things were.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they do nothing but try to tear you apart the entire time. And it is nothing but like not so constructive criticism.
It's just shade after shade after shade after shade.
And it's like it makes you feel so unworthy of anything in your entire life. And you're like, why am I here? They make you feel so less. And no, to be honest with you, I think it's a way that they can actually like hold power over you. To be honest with you, and I'm not a huge fan of the way they do it. Like, I'm just gonna put this as
I've heard that they've changed that because they took it too far one day.
They did. But here's the thing. It's like it's a way for all the RAs to be scared of them in the future, and so they know that the RAs will listen to them and bend the knee. So, anyways, about that, I went through all those. And they were like, yeah, we want you to be in the RA program. And I was like, hell yeah, dude, that's finally some real leadership I can be a part of. And I go to there, and then I was like, okay, well, do you want me to be on my floor or do you want me to be on a different floor? And they were like, just, for continuity. No, they're like, for continuity's sake, we don't want to put you on the same floor you're on. because there was another person on your floor applying for it as well, and we don't want to like cause any problems. And I was like, that's fine. So I was like, let's just start next year. They're like, okay. So they bring in someone else who is not that great of an RA. He was an okay RA. Honestly, Alex was an okay RA. He was a great guy. I hear he's a better RA now. He didn't really do much on the floor. Anyways, so next year rolls around, and they call me during the summer when I was living in New Orleans, and they were like, hey, so since you only have like semester and a half-ish, because I was going to do my last semester online, which would have only been a few sessions, which I still could have been on campus for. Mm-hmm. They're like, since you're here for only an hour and a half, a semester and a half, we want to put you on a freshman floor. I'm like, all right, cool. And so I signed up for the freshman floor. I'm getting to know some of the freshmen. Some of them are messaging me, like asking me questions about the school year, and I'm super excited to meet them. And yeah, this part, yeah, the ending of the, this is so bad. I get a call a week before it starts, and they're like, yeah, actually, since you're only here for a semester and a quarter, and one of them's going to be online, we'd rather you just not live on campus your second semester of that year. And so we're just going to give the position to someone else. And I was like, you promised me this. You promised me this. And I'm talking to my dorm mates already, and you take it from me. And so I decided, I said, screw it. I moved off campus. I'm done with student life. I moved off campus, moved into the current apartment I'm living in right now, and I finished my college away from all of that junk. And so that was, welcome to the story of how I was never in leadership because the school
decided. They did you dirty left and right.
Nonstop. So screw that leadership program. Except for the fact that, Alejandro here was an RA for how many years?
3.5.
God dang. So screw you, man. And I actually,
also, I met you. You met me as leader. And I think we were mentioning this before we ran out of time last week.
You were my RA.
Yeah, I was your RA for a summer. Mm-hmm. And the way I met PJ was he was smuggling a roommate that he didn't need, that he wasn't allowed to have while I was checking people in. So great first impression.
You're welcome. Can you hear this in the background? Do you hear anything in the background?
I hear nothing.
Good, because they're mowing my lawn outside. They're being so freaking loud. You only get the best quality here on StatX Radio, guys. Only the best. Enjoy the sound of mowing lawn. Anyways, on the bright side, he's a successful rapper and model now.
Yeah.
So at least you can take some of that credit. You're like, hey man, I didn't throw you out.
Yes.
Help me out, boy. The roommate.
He didn't know.
I didn't know.
Which was funny because I talked to Alejandro like literally every day.
I barely went to his room after I checked him in. He would only come to my room to talk.
And now you know why.
Hours.
Now you know why.
Yeah, it was you and Jordan in my room. We were literally talking about comics, movies, games, fantasy.
Oh yeah, like this, pretty much.
Literally, pretty much.
Hours.
If anyone want to know why we decided to kind of start this together, it was thanks to those conversations because, my God, we would lose hours a day of endless, fiery debates sometimes. And Josh Marty, I know you're listening to this. I think you remember those nights where we would not shut up about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I heard he would hang out with you, and then he would hang out with Gabe a lot. And you guys would just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Yeah, I wish I was there. I think Josh Martin and I had some beef at the time, and he didn't invite me to things, but that was okay. I love him nonetheless, and I know he loves me too. So, anyways, college was a mess, and honestly, this is nowhere near the end of college stories that I have.
Yeah. We can leave those for future episodes.
Yeah, we'll leave them for future episodes, absolutely, because we want to stretch out our college time. But I guarantee you, Alejandro, you have some story that you don't remember. Zach, you probably have some story you don't remember that you'll mention at some point, and I have a lot of stories I don't remember.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking of one that I'll leave for episode 3. Stay tuned because it happened right before I became an RA, and I was like, well, this is as good a crazy story as it can happen to me before I have to just keep following rules. So
yeah,
actually, I have 2 of those. But
oh man, dude, I remember. if Carlin's family hears this, they're probably gonna be so mad. I remember Carlin when he graduated as an RA. So he graduated, and his last day as an RA, he showed up on the floor because he went to a party the night before because it was a graduation party. So he was still an RA, but he shows up on the floor and he's in the bathroom. And he's like throwing up, and I was like, "Dude, did you go out drinking last night?" He's like, "Yeah, man." And I was like, "Dude, I feel that. I've done that before. I remember throwing up. I felt bad for the guy. I was like, you have fun, man. Like, just go get some sleep. I'll cover for you. I'll make sure that no one knows what happened." He's like, "Thanks, man." And so,
since we're no longer there, we can't be held liable for that. That happened 3 years ago.
Yeah, we can't be held liable anymore. But if they knew that happened when he was an RA, that would have been a problem.
Oh yeah, it would have Troy would have burned. Rome would have fallen to ashes.
Oh yeah, it would have been awful. Anyways, last story I want to mention is, as you mentioned earlier, P.F. Chang's.
Mm-hmm.
I have been working at P.F. Chang's for about a month now. And I have some stories of moving into that restaurant and working there. So I'm a server there. I make some pretty decent money, and I absolutely love everybody who works there. Seriously, if anyone at P.F. Chang's is listening to this right now, you guys are incredibly supportive, and you guys are awesome people. I love working with you, and honestly, every time I have to go into work, I kind of look forward to it. So, which is, wow, kind of surprising.
And to add to that, if you've never been to P.F. Chang's, if you like really good Chinese food, I recommend it.
It's so freaking good. And
that's where I went with my dad after graduation.
There you go. Yeah, man, that place is so freaking good. I love the food. I think the best part about working there, minus the people, is the discount on the food. Anyways, so the stories, two small ones. So I'm gonna tell you a story about some guests that I had the other day. This one is something that I think you played all the Kingdom Hearts games. You'll get this one.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
I'm fresh in it right now. So
all right, yeah. So I had a two-top, which means just two people, a man and a woman. And this one, I mean, to be frank, this woman was very blonde and kind of ditzy, like fake breasts, like very, you imagine, yeah. And the guy was an obvious ex-football player, like big old dude, like not very intelligent.
Old Jack, like
yeah.
head.
Well, no, not Jack. He's muscly, but he has like a beer gut and all that. You know what I'm talking about? Like an ex-football player. Yeah.
Right.
So this guy rolls up his sleeve for a moment, and I see that he has a Keyblade on his arm. Tattoo.
That's awesome.
A Keyblade tattoo on his arm. Sorry, guys. I am sick. Send all of your best wishes my way because I need it. And happy birthday wishes, please. I will take any money and gifts that you want to give me. Anyways, I am not stingy. All right, so anyways.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. So he has a Keyblade tattoo on his arm. And I'm like, oh, Kingdom Hearts. I love that. Like, I thought this because they were talking about Avengers for a second. So I was like, oh, these guys are actually nerdy. I just never assumed so. And so I was like, I felt bad. I was like, I should assume that everyone's nerdy. So I was like, okay. So I was like, oh yeah, Avengers, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, oh, I love your tattoo. It's like a Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts. And yeah. And he was like, oh yeah, she has the other one. And so she rolls up her sleeve or whatever. And she has the heart with the key lock or keyhole in it. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. It's like his, a key unlocks her heart or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then he mentioned, she was like, yeah, we had no idea what this was until someone told us later after they saw it.
No way. Are you freaking kidding me? You have the Keyblade. And
I'm not kidding you. And I was like, wait, you didn't know what Kingdom Hearts was? He's like, no, I don't play any video games or really watch anything like TV. He's like, I'm not a nerd. And she was like, yeah, we just thought it was cute. It's like, the key and the unlocks my heart. And I was just like, I'm sorry. And I just grabbed my stuff and left the table because I was just like, all right, well, because I felt bad because I was ranting, man. I was talking about Kingdom Hearts and Avengers and all that for 3 minutes trying to connect with them because it was it's going to give me a better tip. Dude, they had no idea what the hell I was talking about, and they were just trying to be nice for 3 minutes. And I was just like, man, first of all, that sucks. You got to attach.
To be fair, if they were talking about Avengers,
I've seen Avengers, okay?
Exactly. But at the same time, you only heavily discuss Avengers if you're a real nerd. If you're just someone that's casual, oh, I like that movie. Oh, this person died. Oh, cool. That's long. So
That's what I thought too. And then they had I mean, was I wrong? I mean, they had a freaking Kingdom Hearts tattoo. Like, I was like, there's no way this guy doesn't know what Kingdom Hearts is. What the hell it was.
To know about the corniest city on planet Earth, the corniest series in planet Earth.
Yeah, he's just like, he got it tattooed on his body, and so does she. So, anyways, that was a really weird encounter that I had, and that was the third week working there. But here's a pretty crazy work story. So, I think it was a week and a half ago. Yeah, so about a week and a half ago, probably like May 10th-ish, maybe a little bit more. Anyways, regardless of that. So the kitchen is pretty well lit, and it has like some floodlights in there, all right?
So a lot of parties there then.
So you guys can try to imagine what the place looks like. So we try to pride ourselves in fine dining. And so, the front is very nice, well dim lit, like very like with candles and stuff every once in a while.
Super fancy restaurant.
It's a fancy restaurant. People come in there to spend a lot of money, and so we like take it very seriously. The kitchen has floodlights in there, and one of the lights were out, and I didn't have any tables at the time, and I was trying to make a good first impression. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go and try to fix the light bulb. And so I get on a ladder and I climb up there, and I'm like, I take down the light, and it's I look at the light bulb, nothing's wrong with the light bulb. It's like, that's weird. And so I put in a new one, and it's not working. And I'm like, this is really weird. And so I look at the voltage, I look at the actual actual socket itself, and there's no electricity coming out of it as I see. And I'm like, this is really weird. So I look at the light switch next to it, and I'm flicking it on and off and trying to figure out what the hell's going on with this light bulb. I was like, dude, what the heck? And this is going on for about like 10 minutes because I don't have a table. I tell them not to sit me because I'm going to take care of this because they can't see in a part of a kitchen. So I go back there, and I'm like, I'm trying to fix this freaking light bulb for like a solid 10 minutes. And then I hear some like radios going off, and I'm like, what the heck? I was like, so I'm freaking out because I'm like, I have no idea. Like, it's dark. It's dark where I'm going on. I'm flipping this light switch on and off, trying to figure out what the heck's going on with this light bulb. And here's some radios, here's some people talking, and I overhear something about lights. And I'm like, oh, someone's going to try to come and help me. And so my manager comes sprinting in from the front of the restaurant back to where I'm at. And then she yells, and she's like, who the hell keeps turning on and off the lights in the front of the freaking restaurant? and then I'm like, wait. Oh God. I'm like, wait. Where's the switch for that? She points at the switch that I've been flipping on and off for 15 minutes. She was outside on her smoke break, and the host, this is poor high school girl, sitting in the front with the lights flickering on and off nonstop, and every patron in the front freaking out, is trying to get in touch with my manager to ask what the hell's going on. But the manager's on the smoke break, so this high school girl has to explain to everybody, like, I'm sorry, I have no idea what's going on. And yeah, and I'm just in the back there flipping the switch, like, because I'm like, it's right next to the light bulb, or like where the light socket is. So I figured it was that switch. Yeah, so I happen to be turning on and off. Oh, and I should also mention this is during our busy dinner.
Oh gosh!
So,
wow.
And it wasn't me dimming the lights. I legitimately turned off and turned on the lights in the restaurant.
Like it was some sort of horror movie.
Yeah. So
or Close Encounters of the First.
yeah. So if it wasn't for the fact that the other two new people just left, like as in like quit for no reason, they probably would have fired me, but they needed me. And also my manager thought it was hilarious. She was like, yeah, if you ever do that again, you're fired. But that was hilarious. And I was like, thank you.
Hey, the grace of the Lord follows you.
I guess so. So yeah.
And that was Stories with Parker. PJ, sorry.
My mom calls me Parker. I should mention this. The only reason why you know me as that is because of my ex called me that, and she would introduce me to all of her friends and all of my friends as that. And so therefore,
Jordan, actually, I know you as that thing because I had to write in your name.
Oh, that too.
Check-in.
That too. But anyways, yeah, so that is my PF Chang stories. So we actually have to go on another break in about 6 minutes, and then we'll come back to finish up. If that's okay with you, Zach.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Just making sure that you're not like busy at a certain time. Alrighty, let's move on, we have one last conversation I want to have while we have some minutes to talk here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to mention Super Mario Maker 2.
Yes.
That game looks.
Can we talk about like how that could be Game of the Year 2019?
I'm highly doubting Game of the Year because Borderlands 3 is coming out, but Super Mario Maker 2. I have so much hope for Borderlands 3, and if it sucks at all,
You're gonna cry in the corner.
I'm gonna cry in the corner. I'm gonna quit everything I'm doing, and I'm just gonna like throw my life away. Apparently, yeah. Super Mario Maker 2 looks great, and Alejandro and I are buying the game, and hopefully Zach will buy the game and a Switch, because we have content coming for Super Mario Maker 2. Alejandro and I will be posting things on my channel and on the Static channel for Super Mario Maker 2. We will be making.
And by the way, speaking of the Jayohkay channel, if you haven't seen it yet, you can see Pokemon Pictionary, where
the bad Pokemon
where
Pictionary.
the three of us, like PJ, would try to make Zach try to guess a Pokemon that I would draw with time constraint. The results are for you to see.
Pretty interesting. I will give you credit. You did a lot better than I thought you would, Alejandro. So episode 2 of that will be made hopefully soon. And I have a pretty good idea of how to put some heavy constraints on you to make it even worse. So and to make it a little bit more, how to put it, appealing looking at it. And so it's not just a Discord background for the a part of
the entire 20 minutes.
let's put it this way. I have some plans to make the series a little bit better, and I'm excited to do that. And I have another video coming out that's related to a game titled Persona 5.
Which, by the way, after I think a full year of
2 years,
your insistence, I finally started playing.
Yep. I bought Alejandro Persona 5, and he's been playing through it.
Yeah.
So,
I'll say this. I don't like turn-based RPGs. I burned out on them like back in 2010 with Final Fantasy 13. This one still has the hooks in me. And my God, what a stylish game.
It's so
beautiful game.
That's the thing. It's kind of contradictory because technically it's not a beautiful game because it has like last gen quality to it when you're kind of playing, but the style alone is the best.
It's so beautiful.
The style, it's just like the sound.
The art is beautiful too. Like
the art direction is really awesome. Yeah, like it's kind of like super stylish, and especially like the conversations that pop up, the menus, the music, the pace, everything. Like,
and honestly, the gameplay is a lot of fun too. Like the game actually has a fun story. Like it has a giant mystery, and has a giant like the whole idea of playing as thieves sound pretty cool. But also now you're multi-dimensional thieves,
exactly. And if you want to know what college drama is like, I feel that game is actually pretty perfect in kind of painting it that way. Just in the little that I played. Also, very serious stuff in it. Like it maybe look cheery and all that, but the subtext of it's pretty heavy.
It's pretty dark. Yeah. No, I mean it as a spoiler for anybody who hasn't played Persona 5 who's been thinking about playing it when the Royal comes out. I mean it has talk about suicide and potential like sexual abuse and stuff like that. It's pretty damn dark. It's a dark game, but it is so much fun. And honestly, the things that are dark is not glorified at all. No. I mean, it is talked about that it is dark and it's something that your characters want to fix and correct.
Exactly. It's like it's not glorifying in a sense of like, look how dark we are. It's just something that you kind of like start piecing together once you start like reading into conversations and everything. And I feel the fact that you're trying to stop it kind of helps counterbalance that.
Yeah. Your characters play as the good guys, pretty much the Robin Hoods. Mm-hmm. Like, you're stealing from these people who are evil and giving back to the poor and abused. So it's a pretty good game from start to finish.
I'd say that it's very surprising because I was expecting not to like it because it's not my kind of game. But
so was I when I played it. I wasn't expecting to like it when I played it.
Oh yeah,
and it just hooks you. It just hooks you. You don't stop thinking about.
Oh my lord! Both of you guys are playing versions of my game, technically. I bought Alejandro his game, and Zach played through my physical copy.
There you go. So you're basically a Persona ambassador that way because you got me to play something that I wasn't expecting to like, but I'm liking, especially because finally, since we're talking about what we've been playing real quick, I finished Days Gone.
Yeah.
Freaking
And
fun.
you liked it. That's
And I did, yeah, and I like it. Not only that, I platinumed it.
Oh wow! Holy crap!
So yeah.
Good freaking luck platinuming Persona 5.
Oh no, I'm not even attempting that. I'm not even.
It's possible. I would
Oh,
tell you
yeah.
this.
I
It
see
is
some
possible.
people platinum it 3 times.
Oh my god! I've tried to, and I've attempted to do it, and I've gotten close to a few things in it that I need to do so, but I quit before because honestly, I don't want to play this game too much. That Persona the Royale is like gets a little bit slogged down.
Exactly.
Um,
I'm at the point where I'm playing it right now. I'm not gonna play the Royale, but I'm glad that I'm playing it because it was like my game, the one of the game shames for me.
Speaking of the Royale, I want to mention that Zach and I have Let's Plays coming together of Persona 5 the Royale when that releases. Is that right, Zach?
That's right.
And we're going to be playing through that game together. Do you know what when that releases? Is it later?
Yeah, it just says 2020. So until
next year.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. Okay, yeah. So whenever that releases, Zach and I are going to be playing through that game together. Hopefully, it's not during the summer next year, or if it is, maybe that'd be great.
I would assume April 2020 because last time it released on April.
Yeah, that'd be all right. So Zach and I are going to play through that game. We both have extraordinary knowledge about Persona 5 already, so therefore we will be able to have a lot more fun playing through Persona 5 the Royale a little bit more loosely.
Right.
And date Best Girl.
Yep, you could date Best Girl. What's her name again? The detective?
Morgana?
No.
Oh,
Niji something. Niji. Oh, wow. She's the best. How did we forget her?
Maybe we can find out about the name because we have to go on our next break.
Yeah. We got to go on 1 minute. Let me see. Come on. What is her name? Detective from Persona 5 female. Help us. Why am I forgetting?
Come on, Zach. You must know it. You must know this.
Zach, we can't talk about Best Girl if you don't know Sei Nijima.
I don't know how to pronounce it. It's in Japanese.
It's Sei Nijima. Zach,
More like
or not Zach. Gosh dang it. Anyways, Alejandro, you know the lady who is interrogating you at the beginning of Persona 5?
Yeah, the detective.
Best girl. Best girl. Hands down.
Yeah.
Absolutely best girl. She's like, oh man.
I like her.
Absolutely. No, yeah, you'll get to love her, my dude, but you won't be able to love her. How dare us? Anyways, yeah, I thought, yeah, she's best girl in the game. But her younger sister's a close second. So.
Oh, she has a younger sister?
Spoilers.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. You'll find out about that later. Anyways, yeah, she's a close second. She's pretty cool. She rides a bike. Anyways,
Big spoiler.
a motorbike, not an actual like bicycle. And so that'd be kind of dumb. Anything you want to mention? We got to go on one more break here in about 1 minute. Anything?
I say that we can mention other stuff after the break because there's a couple stuff that.
There's a couple good things we want to mention. There's a couple good things we want to mention. I mean, we got some small news. We have some updates about some things, and then yeah, that's about it. So, anyways, everybody who listened to the last so many minutes, last 30 some minutes, 30, 40 minutes, we have one more break, and we're going to come back for probably about another 15 minutes, and then that will be the end of episode 2. So stay tuned.
Enjoy the music.
And enjoy the music.
3, 2, 1. All right, so since I don't really play as much video games as PJ and Alejandro, why don't we talk about what we've been watching?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so can I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so obviously we talked at the beginning of the episode. I saw the Game of Thrones finale. Other things that I've been watching, I saw all the Arrowverse finales, and just not to get too long-winded about this. Last week I said how The Flash has become trash based on its penultimate episode. Finale, not so bad. Would you agree with that, Zach? The finale was like half, but their last half was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it had a strong last half. I was actually surprised how much I liked it. Considering
exactly, it was more like, I think it was a punch in the face to be like.
I don't watch the Arrowverse, as a heads up to everybody at home.
Exactly, I know.
So I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Just as a quick one, like the Reverse Flash is the Flash's greatest enemy, and the fact that they had him in the season and not feature him until the very last half of the finale, it's so unfortunate, because that last half was just a reminder of how good he was and how good the show was when he was the big baddie, which apparently he'll continue to be, which makes me excited for season 6. Something I wasn't expecting to say last week. Also, Arrow finale. Also, first half, second half. Oh, okay, that's kind of emotional. Legends finale. Oh my God! If you want to see a Minotaur playing a guitar, a Minotaur playing a guitar while everyone is singing "Sweet Baby James" from James Taylor to try to revive a fallen hero.
Okay, I'm gonna go watch that.
That is amazing. like for real. It's like Legends we don't deserve a show as crazy as Legends and for it to be as good as it is. Like
I'll go watch it.
And here's even my favorite. Ray Palmer's soul was like sent to hell, and his biggest torture is playing Jenga with Vandal Savage.
Oh my God!
I'm not even kidding. And there's a dragon that on cue dances. Like, literally, Legends is the best show. I'll just say that.
What the hell?
It literally is like they don't give a crap. They're just like, we're just gonna be crazy. We embrace it. You're either in or you're out.
What? Okay, that's crazy.
So yeah. So
Zach, what have you been watching?
Yeah. So what about you, Zach?
So I have Hulu for the next 2 weeks, I think.
So I've been catch up.
So I've been watching Community and Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Hey, that's my shit.
# 6 seasons in a movie.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about? No, the movie's not going to happen. Sadly. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, dude, I think that's probably one of my out of nowhere, probably favorite comedies.
Best comedy on TV right now.
I haven't actually I didn't know anything about Brooklyn Nine-Nine except that Sandberg was in it.
Oh, okay.
That's about it. And yeah, I mean, honestly, anyone who's seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's just it has a way of hooking you. It's super funny from start to finish, and you fall in love with the characters. Like, everybody is super exaggerated. Everyone knows Charles is a blumbering fool who has an absolute love and worship for Jake, and he's really big into weird exotic cookings and stuff like that. And he has a weird love problem. Gina has a very weird self-worth issue. I guess she's very egotistical. But the thing is that honestly, part of it is well deserved. Like, she's actually very successful, and Jake is a child detective, pretty much. He's your main character who's always wants to be liked by people. So does the sergeant. Everybody. Amy is very particular. Rose is just your average badass. It's every character in it is just well written, and everyone is very you can't really mix characters up because you know what I mean, Zach?
Yeah, every character is unique and has their own archetype.
Yeah, they fit in their place and they play well together, and I think that's beautiful.
Speaking of archetype, would you guys agree that that's basically the current Office? Hey, were you guys the big Office fans?
Actually, that's a good thing to mention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like The Office a lot. Yeah.
It has that kind of vibe, kind of like the workplace comedy with everyone kind of feeling an archetype and all that.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah. So I kind of say that for everyone that
I would say The Office has a lot of dry humor, whereas Brooklyn Nine-Nine is just right up in your face.
It's a little bit more overt. It's more overt than the.
Yeah, but I would say it fits pretty well to fill that show hole. Yeah. But if I'm gonna be honest with you, if we're gonna be talking about shows that'd be good to fill that show hole for Office, I think Community does a better job.
Oh yeah, it's been even though it's been gone for a while now, but it really has that same kind of vibe. Even though it's more for us that are a little bit more nerdy, because man,
the references
so good.
Yeah, continuity. That's like all that show is. Yeah, it's pretty good.
And I'm glad some more people are finding that show recently, especially since the most recent Dan Harmon thing has been Rick and Morty, which
by the way, season 4 comes out very soon.
Oh yeah, and I don't watch Rick and Morty as much as I did Community, but I know a lot of people like Rick and Morty.
Don't let the memes and trolls ruin the show for you, Rick and Morty.
Exactly. Yeah, it's unfortunate the whole sauce thing kind of put a dark cloud in the last season.
Oh, Monkey Jones, yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, if anyone has not seen Community, it's on Hulu right now, right?
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Yeah.
I say the first 3 seasons of that show are gold. Season 5 is also pretty good. Season 6 also surprisingly good.
I honestly think the entire show is gold from start to finish. It's dare I say, I think it's my favorite show of all time. I love Community so much. I watch through it like all the time. And I think nothing can really beat the video game episode where they all go 8-bit into the video game. Like, I think that's like one of the best episodes of all time. I think the where they travel, they fake travel into space in the KFC like space bucket.
Yes, and I think the zombie episode in season 2. Remember that?
Yeah, zombie episode's pretty interesting. I think it's pretty good. It was okay. The paintball finales, the pillow fight like episodes were great.
That's like a Ken Burns. It's basically a Ken Burns documentary.
That's beautiful.
Law and Order.
The Law. Oh my Lord, I forgot about that one. That was so good. And then the D&D episode. That's beautiful. And then everyone's like favorite one to mention all the time was the multi-dimension episodes.
Remedial Chaos Theory.
Mm-hmm.
The one with the one with different timelines.
Yeah. Different timelines. Yeah, that's a very good one too. It's like from start to finish, that show's great. But mentioning rewatching things, the show that I'm watching right now, because I'm now caught up with Brooklyn Nine-Nine currently as of 2 nights ago. I am rewatching Cowboy Bebop right now. I watch it every year. I watch that, Samurai Champloo, and Space Dandy almost every year. And I'm watching through Cowboy Bebop right now, and it's just so much fun to go back. It helps keep me rooted in things that, like, it helps me realize, like, all right, this is what my standard is. And so it helps me, like, I don't know, it's like sometimes you mention like you liked a show so many years ago and that's what your standard is, but you go back and watch it, you don't enjoy it as much. All those shows aren't like that for me, and so that's why I go back and watch these. So
they just get better with age.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of them. Yeah. There's some episodes in Cowboy Bebop that I feel like don't age super well, but I'm gonna be like just super blunt. Is that it still definitely is one of the standards for anime if you like any of that genre. So yeah, that's great.
Speaking of rewatching, this will actually be me not rewatching as much as actually watching for the first time. There was this HBO show that was very popular a few years ago called Deadwood. It was like a cowboy drama that is having a reunion movie pretty soon. So I was like, it's all the rage that I've been seeing and all the critics that I've been following on Twitter, and it's only 3 seasons. So I've been like, okay, I'm gonna rewatch that to see what the buzz is about. The first episode, I'm like, my God, this is actually really good. That was peak HBO when it was like super quality back in the early 2000s, and it's actually gonna make me want to watch The Sopranos, which was also around that era, and I haven't seen it. And I haven't seen that thing. So since I'm still keeping my HBO account since Game of Thrones ended, I'm like, I'm gonna take advantage of that.
I would say the only thing better than Sopranos, in my opinion, and I don't mean like biasly, because my bias would be Community, but the only thing better than Sopranos is Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, but I've seen Breaking Bad, so
Zach hasn't. Zach is going to watch Breaking Bad.
I'm gonna refrain now because I think I've been given a lot of fake spoilers in the last 2 weeks. So hopefully you haven't minded too much, Zach. Because it's just about the journey, and more than where it ends. So you'll still enjoy it.
I think it's a little bit about both. But
Yeah.
Zach, you are watching Breaking Bad once Hulu runs out, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm excited to see what you think of it. It's gonna take you a hot minute to get through, but that's
And if you're
hour.
liking it a lot, I would recommend you go for Better Call Saul also.
Yeah, bet what? Yeah, no. Finish Breaking Bad before you.
No,
Go.
that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. Like if you like Breaking Bad a lot, and then you finish it, and you're feeling a gaping hole in your heart, fill it with Better Call Saul.
I always have a gaping hole in my heart.
Good. Then fill it with Breaking Bad, and then fill that one with Better Call Saul, because Better Call Saul is actually really good. And if you don't watch Better Call Saul and you liked Breaking Bad, how dare you? Go watch that show. So mentioning shows and things, Robert Pattinson.
Oh yeah. So anyone ready for a sparkling vigilante in your DC universe?
Hey, on the bright side, he's had experience as a Batman before. And he looks the Playboy part. So
Exactly. So I'll say this because I haven't seen Führer like this for an actor in quite a while after that announcement was made. And here's the thing, like even up until this moment, it still hasn't been 100% confirmed that he is actually going to do it. He's just like the actual front runner. People have been telling me he's had quite a good career outside Twilight. I haven't seen those.
He's been great. He's been Harry Potter too. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, I remember Cedric in the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate that he's forever typecast as the sparkly vampire forever. But I'm gonna actually give it a shot and try to look what people are saying are like his best movies post Twilight. Yeah. Just to start seeing him outside of that.
I want to pass the baton to Zach here because Batman is the like holy grail of Zach's identity. So I would like to hear, Zach, your opinion of Robert Pattinson as Batman.
I really like Robert Pattinson as a person from what I've heard about him.
Yeah.
But the only movies I've seen him in is Twilight, and I don't super remember anything about Twilight, so I don't know if he was a good actor in that or not.
Not really, no.
Yeah.
But
I think it was more fault of the writing that they made him and the directing that made him more so stoic and very one-dimensional in a way.
Yeah, it was the writing for sure. But,
exactly. So,
I mean, I do want to mention one thing though. Do you guys remember what my voice? Do you remember the reaction to Heath Ledger?
Yes. And actually, I actually did find a meme that shared a lot of screenshots of Reddit and message boards around that time, completely trashing Heath Ledger as like the worst thing ever. That
people were like, "How dare you have Heath Ledger be the Joker? Like, no way is he a Joker." And who is the best Joker of our lifetime on movies?
Mark Hamill.
Arguably, in
no. I said like movie.
Live action.
But yeah. Best like live action portrayal of Joker was Heath Ledger.
Oh yeah, especially after we got the Jay Leno disaster. I mean the Jared Leto disaster.
Zach, do you disagree?
No, I agree with you. I mean, it's not a huge list to compete against, but
I mean, did you like Heath Ledger as the Joker?
I liked Heath Ledger. I like Dark Knight. I think The Dark Knight's probably my least favorite Batman movie.
Really?
Wow.
It's a great movie. It's not a good Batman movie, is what I'll say.
The Dark Knight?
Okay. I've seen
that conversation.
I've seen that kind of take before, but I want to hear your perspective on it. So, why do you think? What makes it not a good Batman movie?
Batman's not a very good detective in it. He's not very Batman-y in it. The Joker's not very Jokery. It's this whole weird chaos thing, which I think would have been. It's cool. It works, but that's more of an anarchy thing than a Joker thing.
Yeah,
the Joker was just this weird chaos guy who, turned Harvey Dent into Two-Face, which was a weird choice for me.
Because you're a big Batman. What was that comic story that turned him? Long Night or Long Halloween, right?
Yeah, Long Halloween.
Yeah. So, I can see it. I feel like why The Dark Knight is so highly regarded because remember it came at a time where comic book movies were trying so hard to not be comic book movies. They're trying so hard to be something that could be real and all that. And that was like at the time the best representation of that. I feel now that we're like so deep into the MCU era and where like comic book characters or something more comic accurate is a little bit more accepted. I feel your take is not that out of the ordinary. I still think The Dark Knight is the best superhero movie I've seen, personally. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I think it's definitely like the best superhero movie outside of the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
I do agree. It probably doesn't hold up to certain standards of the actual comics and the
Mhm.
and like cartoon movies
Mhm.
like you see DC makes a lot. But
Batman-
I do think it holds up pretty heavily. I think it's still one of the best movies I've seen in a hot freaking minute, and
Yeah.
literally one of the best portrayals. I guess it's a personal favorite. I think I really like the Joker portrayal in that movie because it if I'm gonna be honest, like it mixes more with like reality a little bit, just a little bit, than the comics. And I like to see that portrayal. Does it mean that it's going to take place as what I think Joker should be? Absolutely not. But I did like the portrayal for the one-off. I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, and I'll say this: like for me, like what defines that Joker, that portrayal is whenever he's telling his stories.
Yeah,
and he keeps changing like how he got his scars and all that. He just had a command of like lunacy.
Yeah.
That they just kept escalating and escalating and escalating. And I still think that's Chris Nolan's best movie. Just like from a directorial standpoint and all that,
it's definitely
just
one of them.
yeah, it's just very confident with what it tried to do. It was a vision, and I feel like you can take it as you're a big since you're a big comic fan. I always put it akin as an Elseworlds kind of story, like how Elseworlds kind of like has the complete freedom to do a version of a character and just take it through to the end. From that perspective, I have accepted it a bit more than just being like, this is not my character. So
what's your
I'm able to separate my love for Batman as a comic book character from that movie, and I think it's a great movie. It's just not my favorite Batman movie. My favorite Batman movie probably Batman Begins.
Okay, that's actually fair. Yeah, that's it.
The one before that.
Yeah.
Really, I thought that movie was kind of boring, to be honest with you.
I rewatched it actually recently. It's not that boring, but I may have a personal bias.
Let's put it this way: I watched The Dark Knight before I watched Batman Begins.
Ooh, okay, that would be rough to go from that to that, like as a first time viewer, as a first time viewing.
Yeah, I wasn't. I read a lot of comics, but I didn't read a lot of Batman. I wasn't a crazy huge Batman fan.
Because you were more into Flash comics, right?
Flash, Silver Surfer, and the Hulk and X-Men. I read the X-Men a lot too. So yeah, I wasn't crazy on Batman, and it's nothing against Batman. I like Batman as a character, but I'll leave Batman to you, Zach. I think that's your thing. So yeah, I didn't see a movie that said Batman, and I was like, oh man, I really got to see that movie. I wasn't like that. So I just kind of passed it by. I was like, it's going to be an okay movie. And then I saw The Dark Knight, and I loved that movie. And so I was like, I'll go check out Batman Begins. And it was okay. I was like, it was all right.
Now, how about Dark Knight Rises?
It was a good movie. Good movie. I liked it. Screw off. I liked the movie. It's weird. I know it has a lot of flaws, and the Robin thing was stupid, but I think the premise of the movie was a good setup. I don't like some of the twists. I don't like the last 20 minutes of the movie.
I say Batman doesn't have many Batman moments in it because he's always in a vehicle.
Yeah.
That's like my big thing with
that sounds like Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight, yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Ironically, at the third part of a trilogy. Now I'm thinking about it. I feel like
Batman's never had a good third movie or third anything.
Yeah, because God bless Batman forever.
Batman. Oh man, sad. Batman. Yeah, let's move on from Batman talk. I'm sorry, Zach. I know this is your time to shine. But we're gonna move past. All good things must come to an end.
Keeping the team of TV and movies together. PlayStation.
Yeah, I was going to mention
that. They just announced this week that they're actually making a movie and TV division.
Yeah, I don't want to stay on this topic for too long.
No, yeah, I know.
But yeah, that was a little weird. They're talking about a Twisted Metal movie or TV show. Am I right? TV show. Wow. Yeah. Okay, that's gonna be a little weird. Is it gonna be animated or live action? Is any info on it?
Information on that.
Yeah.
Information. Okay. I didn't see the news. You guys.
The
just
last
told me.
Twisted Metal game on PS3 had a bunch of live action cutscenes before you pick your character that were really messed up. Really messed up. So
Yeah.
I really love the Twisted Metal franchise.
I did too. I think it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, it was such a fun for PlayStation in particular. That was like a fun local multiplayer versus game because they don't have many. Like period. So
Especially these days.
yeah, where they're all into, especially these days. He said, yeah.
Oh, got you. Yeah. These days, no, absolutely not. I'm interested to see if they do something for like The Last of Us. It'd be kind of cool.
The Last of Us director Neil Druckmann actually wrote a script for the movie back in 2014. But
interesting.
Since he's actually still deep working on Last of Us 2 as kind of like the creative director in that, I feel that has been put on ice because there were rumors Macy Williams was considered to be playing Ellie.
Interesting.
Which happened in the season where he was traveling the Westeros with the Hound.
That's funny. She was traveling with Westeros with the Hound. I'm gonna be blunt. That movie's not gonna be good.
No.
I'll say after
I'll see it.
Pikachu, I have a little bit more faith that we can actually get a good.
I disagree because Detective Pikachu doesn't need to be a flat retelling of a certain story. It needs to. It's the fact that it's Pokemon. It's a bright and colorful, fun thing. People get it. Like it doesn't matter if it's not the normal Pokemon story.
Yeah.
Because people just want to see Pokemon.
But I'll even
people
say this.
don't want to just see Ellie. They want to see the actual story, and that's not going to go well. If you're retelling a video game story onto the screen, it doesn't normally do well ever.
Yeah, it tends to be better if they go for something original. Like
Absolutely.
for example, since we're kind of started in the Naughty Dog topic with Last of Us, there was actually an Uncharted movie in development with Tom Holland as Nathan Drake.
That's weird.
As a young Nathan Drake.
That's weird.
And I feel that's like something the games never really covered. Only from after a couple flashbacks. So I feel that gives them good material to do something original. Especially if PlayStation starts overseeing that movie now. So
yeah, I don't know. Just Detective Pikachu is just fun from start to finish. Yeah. I think that's the one way to make a video game movie. It's just something that's fun, not necessarily something that needs to be a serious retelling.
Anecdotally, I had a lot of friends here that were never Pokemon fans at all. They loved Detective Pikachu when I went to see it with them.
Oh yeah, my dad took my grandmother to see it, and they liked it. So
they did that well because it's not just like you're only gonna like it if you're a Pokemon fan. I think that's a big barometer of success. That if you can
I do believe you'll like it more if you know Pokemon.
100%.
But I do think you can like it without knowing Pokemon for sure. But yeah, so PlayStation has a movie and TV team now, so that's pretty interesting. But speaking of PlayStation, they didn't know that their parent company did something interesting this week. Do you want to mention that, Zach?
You're talking about Sony and Microsoft crossover?
Oh, yes.
Yep. Yeah. So Microsoft and Sony announced a partnership to take down Stadia, which still sounds like a disease. Which is a streaming console made by Google. So Microsoft and Sony announced a partnership, and apparently the PlayStation team was like, "Wait, what?"
That's that's the best thing about that story, that they're like knee deep on their plans for next year, and they're like, "Wait a second, we're partnering with our most direct competitor."
I'm just imagining I'm gonna be honest. I've been imagining the last E3 where they announced their PlayStation 4. Remember their whole this is how you share video games against Microsoft, where they just threw them completely underneath underneath the bus. I was imagining them having something planned like that already, and then they're like, "Wait a minute, what? You're telling us that we have to be nice to them now?" What?
So it's so amazing because who would have thought that would ever be a thing? Sony and Microsoft.
Absolutely not me.
Sony, the company that was like, no, we're never doing crossplay with Microsoft because we have to protect the kids.
If I'm blunt, I thought it was going to be Microsoft and Google, or Sony and Google, that were going to combine to take down the other one, and then we were going to see the takedown of Sony or Microsoft. But instead, they decided to team up together to take out Google, which is really weird.
And to me, makes more sense because Google has more money than both of them combined, just with everything that they do.
Yeah, that's true.
But will Stadia be successful? I think it'll be as successful like Google Glass. Oh, wait, it died.
Wait, it died. Yeah, it's gone.
That's
the AR thing. What was the AR thing called?
Do you remember, Zach, the AR Google?
AR Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, the augmented reality in Google
Was it
thing that
Google
we were talking
Cardboard?
about. No, not Google Cardboard. No, that was a different thing. I'm talking about the thing that was.
Microsoft one.
Was it Microsoft?
Yeah, Microsoft advertised AR for their
HoloLens.
Xbox One.
No, it
HoloLens.
wasn't Xbox One, but I think it was Microsoft though, because it had yeah, it was Microsoft. Never mind, I'm thinking the wrong company. Yeah, because HoloLens. That's right. Yeah, that never happened either.
Yeah. Even though they were like so cheeky saying that, oh, this is never coming to market. We're just like showing what's possible. And I'm like, then why are you showing it? Like,
Yeah, like,
why are you
screw
like
off.
taking time to show Minecraft being built in HoloLens? Remember that E3? Where they put
Yeah.
HoloLens and they were like building that stuff with Minecraft?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to have
But-
Minecraft on my desk while I'm talking to you guys, and could be like
yes.
biting off a creeper with my finger, like poking it to death.
As a final thing for this Microsoft Sony thing, I'll say that this will benefit Sony streaming if they're actually going to be using Microsoft Azure, which is like their whole network infrastructure. Because despite Sony winning this generation, Microsoft still has a better service.
Yeah,
they've built that thing very stable, and if that can make the PlayStation Now streaming service even more stable than it already is, and all that, that's a win-win. So, well, let's see how this goes.
All right. Well, I have a story to tell you guys to end this podcast on. So if there's anything, and it has to be the ending of the podcast.
Yeah.
I told any one of you guys about the story of the little red bouncy ball?
No.
Never heard of that.
Okay. So is there anything else you want to mention? Because this is going to be it once this ends.
Subscribe.
So,
Any plugs? Oh yeah. Everybody out there who doesn't know, Zach has a new channel that is up. We mentioned it last week. It is up. The link to it will be in the description. Zach, do you want to mention something about it and things that are coming up on it? Go ahead and plug.
all right. So I just released my first video for Pathological Loser. Pathological Losers.
Smooth.
See,
That's
yeah.
very on brand.
The whole thing is I suck. Okay. It's just a short little video introducing my channel. Hopefully by mid-June, I'll have my second video, which will be a full-length animatic about all the Robins.
Sounds
Sweet.
good.
Which
sounds
I woke up yesterday to find out someone already did that video just yesterday.
But did they do it as funny as you're going to do it?
No, and they didn't cover as many Robins as I'm going to.
Hell
There you
yeah.
go. There you
Shove
go.
it. Shove it. Yeah, get it. Get it, Zach. All right, I'm proud of you, man. All right, so yeah, he has a new channel. It's going to be linked down below. Alejandro, you got some pretty big news on something coming up?
Oh yeah, I've been. If you've noticed that our reviews and stuff have slowed down a little bit, it's because as of right now, especially in a couple hours, I'll be like working on the interface for our new website.
Hell
which,
yeah.
it's gonna make everything look cooler,
Super
sexier,
smooth. Oh
and
my
super
Lord.
smooth. And then as a side, because I finally finished Days Gone, but that's like 3 weeks later from the review. I'm actually working on something different to try to cover more stuff at the same time, since a lot has come out in the last month and so before we started recording this. So keep an eye on that. It's a little experimenting with reviews. So
And last thing that I want to plug is that we have, if you guys see it now, it's either done right now by the time that this is up, or it's not done yet and it'll be done very soon. We have a complete rehaul of all of our looks on Static Media, all of our logos, all of our colors, etc. Complete rehaul. It's going to look really beautiful. We have a custom font, and this will go hand in hand with our new website whenever the website gets launched. And last announcement that I'm going to have, once this website launches, once we get this up and once we get all these other things worked out, there will be a small batch of merch coming with our new logos.
yeah.
And so that will be sold directly through us or through our website. And so we'll give you more information whenever that happens. All right. Are you guys ready for the story of the Little Red Bouncy Ball?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So this is a story I'm going to tell you. And at the very end, we're going to end the podcast. All right.
I'm ready.
Alrighty. This is the story of the Little Red Bouncy Ball. I was told this by one of my leaders in my past, and I thought it was really funny, and I hold on to it, and it's a trump card that I keep. Let's see if I can retell it right. So this is the story of the Little Red Bouncy Ball. So once there was a dad and his younger son. The father lost his job and he didn't have a whole lot of money, and his wife passed away right after she gave birth to her son. And so the son's like, probably around 2 or 3 years old around this time. And the father gets laid off and he doesn't really have a whole lot of money. And his son's birthday is coming up. And he asks his son, like, son, what can I get you? Can I get you anything? Like, I'll take out a loan, like whatever you want. And the son just smiles at him and looks at him. He's like, I want a little red bouncy ball. And the dad's like, I mean, anything else. I can get you whatever else you want. Like what? He's like, no, I just want a little red bouncy ball. He's like, okay. So he goes and gets him a little red bouncy ball. Birthday comes up and he gives his son a little red bouncy ball. And his son smiles so wide and looks up at his dad. And he's like, thank you, Dad. This is everything I ever wanted. And his dad, feeling some pride that he was able to give his son something that he wanted, was happy. And, years go by and they both get very close. The father gets to spend a lot of time with his son. His son grows up to be a really good son who loves his father so much. And here comes the son's 14th birthday. And, the father has a better paying job now, and he looks down at his son. And now, the job's okay. It's not super well paying, but it's a decent paying job. Looks down at his son. He says, son, do you want, what do you want? Do you want a new football? I mean, do you want, I don't know, maybe we can get you a down payment on a small car or something for the next year. Anything you want, son. I'll make sure I can get it for you for your birthday. And the son looks up at his dad and he says, I want a little red bouncy ball. And the dad, confused why his son keeps asking for a little red bouncy ball. He's like, I already gave him one. This is weird. Why does he want another one? What the heck? Is there some meaning to this? And he asks his son, he's like, is there some meaning to the little red bouncy ball? And his son's like, just smiles. He's like, it's nothing important. It's just, I just really want a little red bouncy ball. And he was like, okay. And so the dad goes and gets him a little red bouncy ball and brings it back to him and gives it to him for his birthday. And the son smiles and says, thank you, Dad. This is everything I ever wanted. And so, heart warmed and a little confused. The dad's happy for his son. He's like, well, anything you want, son. And then they continue to have a really great relationship. The son turns 16 and the dad, as you can guess, asks him, is there anything I can get you? I can get you a brand new car. At the time, his dad got a promotion and his father has a really nice paying job. So I can get you a car. I can get you like a nice Mustang or a nice Corvette, anything you want, son, anything. You can impress your friends at school. Any nice pair of shoes for basketball, anything. And the son's just, as you can guess, tells his father, all I want is a little red bouncy ball. And so the dad's like, okay, that's fine. So he gets him a little red bouncy ball, but does a little bit differently this time. He gets him a really nice Corvette and surprises his son with it for his birthday. His son opens up the gift and sees the car and he kind of smiles, but he can tell it's a little bit forced. And the father's super confused and he gets in the car and he's like, all right, let's go for a drive. So his son starts to drive and he makes some mistakes while driving. So the father and son swap off and the father's driving. And he asks the son, he's like, what's wrong? I can tell that you're not super happy with this. And he's like, well, all I really wanted was the little red bouncy ball. And the dad, confused, is like, look in the glove box. And he opens up the glove box and there's a little red bouncy ball. And the son gets super excited and gets happy when he sees the little red bouncy ball and he picks it up. And he's like, thank you so much, Dad. This is everything I ever wanted. And Dad's just super confused and flustered. He's like, why the hell does my kid want a little red bouncy ball? So this car. And so sad times roll around and the son turns 20 and every birthday he's ever had since he was 3, his father got him a little red bouncy ball. And the son comes down with cancer and it's not a good time. The father's leaning over the bed, like absolutely crying. And he's like, the father's doing pretty good again with his money. He's doing a pretty decent job and, making like a couple $100,000 a year. And he tells his son, it's his birthday. He's like, anything you want, son, anything. Like, I'll get you the stupid little red bouncy ball, but like anything else, like I'll give you the best doctors, the best treatment, whatever you can do. And the son looks at his father and says, you've done everything you could do for me. You've been a great father. Can I please have a little red bouncy ball? And the father's like, sure, fine. So he goes, gets him a little red bouncy ball, sets it down to him, and gives it to his son. And he's crying. looking over his son and seeing his son sick in the hospital bed. And he's like, I'll give this to you, but you have to tell me what this little red bouncy ball is for. Like, why a little red bouncy ball? And he just frustrated and angry at the world for about to take his son from him because it's not doing so well. He's like, why? Just tell me why. And the son like slowly looks up to him, grabs the little red bouncy ball. He's like, yeah, that's fine. I'll tell you what the little red bouncy ball's for. The reason why I want a little red bouncy ball is because beep, the son dies.
Are you kidding me?
That's it. All right. Thank you guys for listening. And I hope to see you guys next time, next Thursday. Have a great rest of your night.